Today we are joined by someone who is
Oh
synonymous.
my! What are you doing there, Daniel? What are you doing, man? Keep going.
He's synonymous with heavy metal music. He is a giant in this genre. If you like anything with guitars, you probably know who this guy is. He's been affiliated with just about any band you can imagine. He's been entertaining audiences for so long, and he will be once again doing it this Friday at the Fillmore here in Charlotte, North Carolina. His name is Zakk Wylde. He really needs no further introduction, but Zakk, how are you doing today?
That's what I tell the wife all the time when I walk in the room. She just goes, "That's wonderful," and I go bring out the garbage and leave me alone. But no, I'm doing great, man. We did last night. We were rolling with the who were at, well with the we were actually in Norfolk, Virginia chapter last night. So yeah, so we had a great time. It was a blast last night. Got the day off today. I'm gonna be getting ready to roll with the Atlanta chapter Berserkers tomorrow. So it's all good, man. We're having a blast out here.
Awesome. You're just in the middle of your 2026 tour. You're supporting all the music you've done in your career, but you guys did just release your 12th album, Engines of Demolition, I believe is the name.
Yes, and I
Um,
was just told that the album went number one on the Hard Rock Billboard charts. The Berserkers made it number one, and my girlfriend of 83 years said she's now gonna go out on a date with me. I guess because we have a number one record in the hard rock charts, and that she'll go out for a slice of pizza and I can actually buy her a soda pop or something, you know. So yeah, life is good and everything is wonderful.
awesome. Well, congratulations on
Thank
that
you very much,
charting.
my brother. Yes, try, 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 then try again. So yes,
Yeah.
persistence, persistence, my brother.
Yeah, I'm glad that 12 albums down the line, you're still able to have people who are so entertained with your music. That's so great. Obviously, this album's been in the work for quite a while. You've been releasing singles from it since 2024, I believe. What was the process kind of behind finally being able to get this out? What does it
I
feel like?
mean, yeah, well, usually, I mean, it's definitely been different than all the other records in regard that usually we'd work on an album and it would just be an implosion of ideas. I'd end up like writing for about a month, have all the songs. I mean, sometimes we'd go in the studio, whether when we did Stillborn on the Blessed Hell Ride or Mafia with Suicide Messiah or anything like that. I go in with no ideas at all into the studio, and then we just because the studio is just so it's so contagious of being creative because I mean the drums sound like cannons, the guitars sound great, and the acoustics or whatever, and the piano. So it breeds being inspired when you get in the studio to write. So, uh, but with this one, it was a process of over probably 2022, 2023. We started working on it. The guys came out to the Black Vatican, my home studio, and we recorded the whole batch of songs, and then I went back out with Pantera Celebration for another a year. Came back, recorded some more, went back out for another year with Pantera Celebration. That was a process for almost three and a half, almost 4 years. So, I mean, it didn't bother me. I was just like, well, just keep stockpiling songs, and then when we get to the end of the road, then we'll put the record out. And before you know it, here we are, 5 years later, and it's a new album. But it didn't seem like 5 years to me. It just seemed like, wow, another month went by. It was just, time flies, man.
Yeah, well said. You bring up Pantera. I was lucky enough to be there at Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte last year when you performed with them, opening for Metallica.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was a blast, man. It's
such a
always a good time.
such an amazing atmosphere. You've played there at the largest venue in our entire state, and now this week you're playing at the Fillmore on Friday, a much more intimate venue. I'm wondering, as a performer, what are kind of some of the biggest differences between playing somewhere that's enormous like a stadium versus at a more of a kind of a local kind of venue
Well,
like
no,
the Fillmore?
I think if you ask any musician, they'll tell you whether you're playing in a phone booth or you're playing in front of 500,000 people. I mean, it's always the energy that's there. And it's like jumping out of an airplane. I mean, I think whether me and you were jumping out of the highest height we've ever jumped out of, or a lower height. I mean, it's just a thrill of jumping out of an airplane. You know what I mean? So uh, I think that's the way it is. If you ask any musician, they'll tell you the same thing. And it's the love of playing. So yeah, definitely the enormousness of playing in the stadium and then playing in a smaller club, but it's still it's the love of playing. So it's still it's all there. So I think that's what it all boils down to.
Absolutely. And you're great enough on your own to where we'll fill out a stadium for you or fill out a place like the Fillmore, like I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I think everybody you just it's the love of playing.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of looking forward to all the headbanging there on Friday. Um, cool. So you won't only be on stage with Black Label Society, you'll also be performing with your other band, Zakk Sabbath. You've been doing that for just over a decade now of your kind of tribute band to Black Sabbath. What kind of any new things in the set? I mean, I know it's now
Well, I
we're in
mean,
the era.
the funny thing was, I mean, we just got rolling with the New Jersey chapter. I had a bunch of my buddies I went to high school with. Some of the guys I knew known since sixth grade or whatever. But I remember playing these songs. I just looked over and I'm looking at the guys while we're playing Sabbath, and it's just like between NIB, Fairies Wear Boots, and Children of the Grave and War Pigs. Like I remember playing these songs when were playing keg parties in our friends' kitchens, living rooms, basements, backyard parties when we were like 17 years old. And here we are, 59 years old, and we're still playing these same songs. I was just like, this is pretty amazing. And it just, except there's more people. But yeah, it just shows how timeless Sabbath is and how great the music is. But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it definitely makes you feel nostalgic when you go, whether you're your age, whether you're my age. If you're in love with this music, no matter who's playing it, I mean, on stage, it's gonna just hit you
Yeah,
the
it
right
just
way there.
it brings nothing but great memories attached to the music. So it's awesome.
Yeah. What are some of the commitments you do to try to make a really good tribute to Black Sabbath? Because if there's anyone who knows about Black Sabbath and what they should sound like, it's you, right? I mean, you're very associated with all the
Well,
people
yeah,
who are in that
I'm a
band.
Sabbath freako coming in, and then obviously when I started with Randy, and then Jake, and then before I came into the band. But yeah, I'm just a massive fan.
Well said. And just kind of curious, do you have a favorite Black Sabbath album?
Um, I mean, my favorite I think if I had to go desert island would probably be Sabotage. But what's so funny about that, Oz doesn't even he doesn't put that album in with the he as far as he's concerned, it ended at Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, like the classic records. Like I was like, wow, you don't like Sabbath? He was like, nah, because I think he has. Oz always remembers he has memories attached to certain albums, whether he was having a great time making a record or he was miserable or whatever. But I mean, they were going through lawsuits then, and I think they were all going through divorces or marriages problems, and lawyers and lawsuits and everything. So he said it was just a nightmare, at that time. But I love that record. I think it's amazing. But I mean, I love them all. But I mean, it's just if I had to go desert island, I'd probably take Sabotage.
Yeah, I mean that's a great record. You got the writ, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
many awesome
Symptom of the
songs on there.
Universe. I mean, everything's
Yeah,
on there, man.
yeah. Another follow-up on that. If you had to pick one that wasn't an Ozzy album or wasn't a Dio album, any other of the other Black Sabbath singers albums that you really like?
Well, Born Again, obviously. I mean, if I had to go one of them, I always thought that was a great record. With Ian Gillan, whether they called it Black Sabbath or if they would have called it Disturbing the Priest was the name of the band. I like that record. So it's just yeah, and I love the Dio stuff. So I mean, if you're a fan of Sabbath, whether they called it Heaven and Hell or they called it Black, it's just those four guys getting together making records. So. Uh, But yeah, I mean, obviously, with Zakk Sabbath, we do all the Ozzy era stuff, but I love it all, totally.
Yeah, well said. Also love that album, Born Again album too. So glad to hear you like it. Um, Cool. So, you've been with so many bands across your career. You've been with Ozzy Osbourne. You've done your whole career so far with Black Label Society. Obviously, you have Zakk Sabbath to kind of do the Sabbath stuff. But when you're putting together the Black Label Society set list, what's kind of the methodology around that? Are you trying to bring the new songs from your new record that just dropped, and or how does that all work?
You gotta, I mean, it's our problem isn't as bad as the Rolling Stones, obviously, but I mean, yeah, the Stones could be up there for 3 days and they'd still, you'd be like, they didn't play this one, they didn't play that one, so we don't have the problem isn't that bad, but I mean, you try to touch on everything that you've done, so since the first album, Sonic Brew, all the way up to now to Engines of Demolition, just sprinkle it with a little bit of everything in there. Obviously, you got to have staples in there, just like whenever we're playing with Oz, we'd have to have Paranoid would be in there, Crazy Train would be in there, Mama I'm Coming Home would have to be in there, but then Embark at the Moon. You have to have certain staples got to be in there, but yeah, but then you kind of dance around all the things that everybody wants to hear. So that's the reason why we play Freebird twice and Stairway to Heaven twice, and then that's the end of the show. Just play what they want to hear.
Right. Yeah. There's going to be some guy in the audience yelling for Freebird, right?
Of course, it's a
Um,
classic.
yeah, which also that makes me a little curious as a performer when you got people in the crowd who might be haggling or is that something you notice or is that something you can kind of like tune out and just focus on your performance?
Nah, you just keep plowing ahead. You know what I mean? Like, like when your wife is asking you to do something, and the kids are screaming and the dogs are barking, you just keep plowing ahead and you keep doing what you got to do. You just got to keep plowing through mountains. That's all.
Yeah, just keep living life, right? Um, cool. So on Friday, we can't wait to see you here in Charlotte. You've played all across the country, played all across the world even. And you've visited North Carolina, you visited Charlotte a few times. I'm curious, any particular fond memories of your time visiting this place on tour?
But yeah, I mean, well, just recently, because I got some buddies that I actually grew up with that are down in Charlotte right now. They live, from Jersey down in Charlotte, and they were at they were at the Pantera Metallica gig when we played with Metallica. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hooking up with my buddies once again. Totally.
Awesome. No, you just released your newest album about a week or two ago. But anything new in the works? Anything, other types of projects you're hoping to work on? Anything you want to promote that's coming out soon?
Now we just got the new album, The Engines of Demolition, and we're looking forward to rolling with the Charlotte chapped up berserkers in a little bit, man. We'll be there and having a great time.
Awesome, Zach. Well, it was an absolute pleasure to get to talk with you a little bit
Right back at you, my brother. Cheers,
about
buddy.
everything. And can't wait to see you on Friday. And hope you have a rocking time the rest of the tour.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you, man. Come up and say hi, man.
Awesome, man. We'll have a great rest of your day. Thanks
You
for
got it, Nate.
talking to
Take
us.
care of yourself, my brother.